been a long time coming. They ain't cuffing my cloth, they tugging. Putting up numbers, 99 problems, and I still kept it 100. Hold up. Yeah.
What up, homes and homettes? If you're as bewildered as I am, I know, right? Real selling. Crazy, right? I didn't think we'd ever see one. Well, it is. We still have 15 minutes, so we might be, we could always rip into the close and end up green. I'm going to go out on a limb and say we actually closed red today. What's up, everybody? Good to see you. Before we get started, make sure you email me because we're doing something extra special. What we do Thursday nights is called the Schmooze. Solid and I, my partner in crime, we started doing this kind of right before COVID. So COVID was like awesome because we were already hunkered down. Earnings season met weekly expiration. So it was new and exciting times because we never had an option expiration every week. So it was awesome when you had these big Thursday night or Thursday nights where you have all these tech earnings coming out. I'm a big QQQ guy. And, you had the monthlies coincidentally expiring. So every third Friday. So now then it became every Friday. So we started getting together to prepare for our attack because and again, not only are we not rallying into the close, we're actually selling off into the close. Wow. So not only did we, prepare, but what I was going to say was there was not as much going on 5 or 6 years ago as there is going on right now. So without preparing, you're going to be lost. And like today, there was a tremendous amount of stuff going on. And then we went into squadouche mode. If you don't know what squadouche means, squadouche, it's a technical term. Or maybe it's just from me living in Brooklyn my whole life. Squadouche. There's nothing going on. Squadouche, right? People were wondering how to spell it. Squadouche. Squadouche. And, a big part of trading, especially what I do for a living is I educate, I entertain, I find trades. And there are certain days where sitting on your hands is the best thing to do. And people, have the fear, not the fear of missing out. You get anxiety. It's like walking into a casino and not playing any games. Hey, what's going on here? I just came to the casino. I didn't come for the show only. Sometimes, there's not much to do, but here's the fun part. There was a tremendous amount of things to do, but it was really in that first half an hour. And then you had some counter trend moves and, we picked our spots and we did all right. And, I screwed up my meta trade. I'll show you how I screwed this trade up because, I don't get them all right, but my entries are always right. Sometimes my exits are a little bit too premature. And, I left a lot of money on the table on that one trade, but, managed to do all right. So, again, if you guys watched my midday show, I don't want to go through the whole rigmarole of what we did and why we did it and all that. We'll talk more about that later tonight. But before I go any further, the schmooze is, there's so much going on in this market now that you need to have a game plan and you need to game plan tonight because you don't want to miss anything tomorrow. Because if you miss it tomorrow. If you miss the best entry, you might be paying, let's say, a dime instead of a nickel. And percentage-wise, especially if you're looking to buy hundreds of contracts, it's a big difference. And a lot of times what we're looking for on option expiration are penny options, nickel options, dime options on stocks that are breaking VWAP or, doing our favorite trade on a Friday on options expiration, breaking a half or a whole number. All you need is a 50-cent move to make 5 or 10 times your money. And that's what we're hoping to see tomorrow. And just a tremendous amount of earnings coming out tonight. So we got so much to talk about. But let's talk about this meta trade and hope you guys were watching me this afternoon while we, were very, very patient. And I took my profit a little bit too early. That's my problem. But, my default is to always be buying stocks that are gapped down on earnings, and I look to short stocks that are gapped up on earnings because the trade makes sense, right? Gap down stock, you have the shorters that bet against it. They're going to cash out. How do they cash out? The shorters need to cover. That's buying. The dollar cost averaging people that like the stock and we're waiting for an opportunity to buy a dip, they're buying. Algorithms that are trading around VWAP, they're buying. So it's a buy situation, and you just have to wait for it. And what my algo is telling you to do, and it tells you basically when to do it, and the rest of the time you're just identifying your risk. So when you came in this morning, you're like, all right, tough guy, we're buying some Meta. Well, it don't look good so far. Stock's tanking, right? We weren't buying it. We wait for the coveted fake them out, shake them out, break them out. Now, again, it wasn't a great trade, right? But you got your faux show. And I hesitated a little bit. I waited to break VWAP, and I finally bought it here 66561. And it went up 5 points, right? But when we started, and again, 5-point trade, 200 shares, you're up $1,000, nothing to be ashamed of. But, normally I sell a little bit to lock into a profit. And then I'm hoping right here, when it pulled back and held the VWAP, and then started to rally, I was hoping this next move would start to accelerate to the upside. But instead, it went down, and I was forced to sell it because I don't fight the VWAP. Okay, that was trade number one. It was all right. Made a day's pay, and that's all we want to try to do as day traders. Very specific, fake them out, shake them out, breakout. But the breakout was very muted. And then it tried again, and I did it. And this one was a small loss because it never did anything. Little fake out, shake out, bought the VWAP, didn't do anything, quickly got out, small loss. Then I was like, you know what? I'm sick of this stock because it screwed me once. Well, I didn't get screwed this time. Made a little, lost a little. And then it came back to the VWAP and it got rejected again. And in this move, this algorithmic sell program, we got the new faux show bro. So you see how it broke the recent low. You guys following along at home? So you see how it broke that recent low, that one, but then it came right back. So we bought the stock. Fake them out, shake them out. You want to buy it when it gets back out with that fake out area. So instead of waiting for the VWAP this time, we bought in what's called the VWAP reversion trade. So when you got momentum going back, and again, we were still in that sideways action. Because of the sideways action, if the market's going to go sideways, then you need to be selling at the high on the tops and buying at the lows. It sounds common sense, but a lot of times, especially in this year, you're buying high and you're selling higher. In this case, when you're going sideways, you have to be buying coming off lows and then sell into the move. My mistake this time, of course, was, and again, if you want to consider it a mistake, I bought the stock here again, 5. Could I just say 57.50? You guys know there's a 6 there, right? So I bought 57.50. And we got up to, 662.50. So I sold. And I'm a champ right here. It almost gets to VWAP, starts to roll. I sell it. Profit. Look at me. And then basically, I got faux show broed. That's why it's such an amazing trade. So it broke recent low, and I got out. But then it came right back. And then it does it again. So right there. Fake them out, shake them out, VWAP break, range break, you're back in. And now, why this move turned out to be the best one of the day, I'll explain why it turned out to be the best one of the day. Because schmucks like me that were getting chopped up a little bit, making a little bit, selling them, they came back. Once the stock really showed itself, everybody piles in. And then you got back to that pivot point right there where you pivoted off. And then our target was the high watermark that it hit earlier and nailed it. And that's where we sold it. And, again, sold most of it here, fully expecting it to go here, but wonderful trade. And back down to the VWAP she went. So, what we experienced with Randus, we're not going to do that. We're not going to buy stocks. We're not going to trade options going into the report. The money's made the day after when the market is telling you exactly what it wants to do. The numbers are out. You got nothing to worry about. The news is out, right? And then you're just trading the ebb and flow of the stock. And, that's why I love earnings season, because you get bigger moves, and VWAP works even better because you're getting more volume. So fast forward to we had about 19 other plays. If you guys knew about Starbucks, right? So again, it can't be any easier to understand. The stock was down slightly after they reported, right? It was up, then it was down. So as far as you're concerned, it was down. So we're buying. But most importantly, why are you buying? Fake out, shake them out, VWAP break. And then if you miss that first move, fake them out, shake them out, VWAP break, blue line, orange line. Beautiful trade. My mistake here was, I could have made some more money, but you're never going to go broke taking a profit, right? Wonderful trade. And again, look, it gave you another chance again at it. Fake them out, shake them out, VWAP break. And that's what's so special about this trade and the way we trade, is that the pattern replicates itself sometimes on the same stock 4 or 5 times a day. Plus, if you're only trading VWAP exclusively, like us VWAPians, that's what we call ourselves, you're going to be on the right side of the market. You just have to do what I did. Hey, if this one's not working out, dump it. So I'll go through a couple more. We only got 3 minutes because Amazon's going to come in and just change the whole posture of this market. We got Apple, Amazon. However they go, we'll go the day tomorrow, I'm sure. So before we get there, let me show you a couple other ones. We had SFM, which was kind of a dud, but made money. And that's really what it comes down to. So SFM, stock got absolutely hammered. Stocks that get hammered, we're looking for what? We're looking for a fake out, shake out, right? Fake them out, shake them out. Next thing you know, rally. This one kind of a dud. You brought the VWAP break. You got paid a little bit. You had to sell. But later that day, right? Later that day, or about an hour later, fake them out, shake them out. We traded it right here, caught the reversion trade, and we stayed in it the whole time because our stop is down here where the faux and the show happen. And we got paid a little bit extra. And then we got stopped out of the rest on the way back down. So it wasn't bad. It wasn't awesome, but another profitable trade. And then we had just a couple of, I could go down a list, but I don't want to get caught in a conversation. When I want to watch Amazon, I'm going to show you how we set this trade up. And then, like I said, just email me, kennyglick@aol.com. Tonight, we start the show. I put the music on at 6. If you like the Grateful Dead, we put a show on from history. It's a good show. October 30th was always a good show from the boys. And then at 8 o'clock, I'll come on. And, that's when the market's officially closed, 8 p.m. close. And then I start crunching these charts with you and prepare for what we're thinking about doing tomorrow. And by the way, it was a pretty good day. I mean, you just had to be on point today. You couldn't not be active. There was no passive investing today. You had to be on point, and we are. I mean, we're sitting at the desks, and that's what we do for a living. So, but if you were trying to set some trades and just forget about them, you got hammered today because it was a pretty volatile day. Volatile, almost like it was kind of excessively choppy. But we know how to trade that stuff. So we got about 10 seconds. I'll show you another one that we did. Here it is, eBay. Little fake them out, shake them out, VWAP break, got paid, you get stopped out of the rest. And that's the beauty of the VWAP, right? A lot of times, and again, the reason the bull market is so awesome, the reason that this year has been such an easy market to trade is that when you get the faux show VWAP break, you don't come back. Today's a little different. You had to address these trades later on because they all rolled over because the market actually has some some volatility. It's about time. All right, so what do we got first? We got Amazon. We got Apple. You guys all right? Everybody with me? Still, do you see me? Everybody okay? Let me make sure if anybody has any questions. And by the way, the Wizard says hello. The Wizard, again, is one of our swing traders. And I'm going to try to get the Wizard on. The Wizard is somebody that is a member of our room. They don't come in too often, but has taken what I've shown them and ran with it. Has turned a $7,000 account in 2 years to roughly $30,000. It can be done. Base hits, base hits, base hits, base hits for 2 years. And, you know, and if the Wizard's listening, I would love to have you as a featured guest anytime you want to talk about what you did. All right, so here's the Amazon. Obviously ripping, right? So I'm immediately thinking I'm shorting this thing tomorrow, right? You're probably thinking, what are you talking about? None of this matters right now. This is just your first. This is the knee-jerk reaction candle. The number must have been awesome, right? Fantastic. Great. Good for them. Whoa! Pretty big move, right? Look at this candle. Still hasn't even closed yet. Whoa. All right. You closed. So that's our first candle. Unbelievable. Sick move, right? So now I take the top of this candle. That's 241.88. Now, just to show you how the market's programmed, right? Remember, I've been talking about this every day that you've met me so far for the last, 20 years? Bang. There it is. There it is. I'm not here to debate with you anymore, right? The market's rigged, right? Look. So you got the 6th most popular stock on the planet just reported earnings in the most volatile moment of its life in the aftermarket, and it hits exactly 245 there. Right. It's programmed. Right. So what you're looking for now tomorrow, right? And again, I'm definitely looking to short this thing because that's what I do. And it's not you don't short things because you're thinking about shorting them. So when all of these levels, when the stock stops doing what it's doing, it'll set up the pattern, the chart pattern that we look for. So obviously, if it's an up stock, you're looking for rollovers. And tomorrow, these blue and orange lines will be up here, giving you your guidance. And I'll show you that tonight also. And I don't know if I give you my email. So if you want to join us tonight, and I hope you do, Kenny Glick, it's me, Kenny Glick, KennyGlick. Middle name is fucking, if anybody needs to know. My parents are kind of funny. I'm Kenny fucking Glick. You don't have to put that part in the email. It's kennyglick@aol.com. And that will send you a link and a secret password, and you'll get to hang out with us tonight. Thank you. So right now, it's just like a waiting game. And again, while we're waiting, Apple's kind of showing some strength too. Qs are right back to 628, up 3. So right now already I know. You see the bottom of this candle? Look at the price. Look at it. Look at the price of that candle. It's already showing you exactly where we're going to short the stock. $240, right? So you got the 285, you got the 240, right? And I'm not talking about now, obviously, right? So once this thing's done doing its moves, and obviously 8 p.m. the market closes, then you got the after hours, and you got the 24 hours. Tomorrow, like I said, these VWAPs will be up here. The new data starts to come in, right? The new data starts to come in, and then it'll give us VWAP and the multiple time frame VWAP. So then I look to see if these levels where these candles pivoted from, if they break those levels and that coincides with a VWAP break, boom, I'm in. And only then. See, the reason that I trade this way is that I have a lot of bad habits, like we all do. And if you guys, I'll give you the book. It's a book about bad habits and the reasons most traders don't make money. I've got some bad habits, revenge trading, I overtrade, everything. We all got the same problems. My problem is sometimes I come in with a preconceived notion. I'm coming in, I want to beat the shit out of Amazon. And I don't wait for the setup to tell me that it's a good time to short Amazon, and I'll give it a shot. Don't give anything shots. Don't do anything because you feel like it. So the reason when I say VWAP has saved my life, it's saved my life, especially as a shorter in a bull market, right? So I wait for these levels. So 245, 247.50. So now I know that 245 was important because that's where it broke from. The 240 is where it pulled back to. So as this thing's setting up, and if this turns, and again, this is for tomorrow, and the VWAP will be up here, that 245, 240 area, that 5-point window is where I come in, right? So I'll try to short that thing on the 245 break, knowing that it had pulled back to the 240. You do 300 shares, you make 5 points in a couple of minutes, it's $1,500. You're getting paid like a high-priced, well, this is a PG show today? I forgot. High-priced, What's up, Vegas? So, and that's what we do. And, let me get back to, let me give you the list of other ones that we're looking at. So far, is about 10 that I really like today. I like your face too. All right, my machine's kind of frozen right now. Hold on a second. I got a spinning dial on my earnings website. Well, you guys know I have it written out here. So here, so let's go somewhere. So you guys, somebody was asking me about Rocket Labs, right? RKT. Here you go. I'm actually a fan of the stock right now with interest rates going down and all that. So there you go. I think it reported. There you go. Numbers are out, right? Yeah. No, but yeah, you could try back later. Right. Yeah. Yeah. This is her husband. No. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. No problem. All right. Take care. Yeah. Whatever she did it. Yeah. Yeah. She's a criminal. Absolutely. Yes. You should track her down right now. Yeah. She's wanted by the IRS. Sure. I know. You want a cell phone number? You could hassle her too. Yeah. How about this? I just send you 20 grand and we call it even. Is that cool? What's your Venmo? Oh, hello? Telemarketers, man. I don't know what he was trying. I think he was accusing my wife of some crime. Hilarious. So yeah, this is actually a pretty good example, right? So tomorrow, let's say, you're seeing the 1 minute and the multi-day right here. So if you see this stock, oh my God. Thank you. No, thank you. Why? Thank you, Mr. Akabano. Sorry, I didn't mean to get distracted. Yeah. So what you're seeing right here, this is our typical kind of trade. Again, numbers are out, but if you get stocks that go back above blue and above orange, more often than not, you've got a nice little uptrend. But let's talk about the Amazon, right? So if this was tomorrow, I'd be short. Why? Because it just broke 245, right? So now that it broke 245, I'd be in. Now I don't really want to trade aftermarket because we're doing a show right here, but normally, as soon as it breaks the price that I've designated as being significant, I'm in. Now it's 245. So 245 gets you what? 240, 250. Stocks that trade this, above 200 tend to trade in 2.5 and 5 point increments. So now if it breaks 240, 250, you look for the retracement back to the 240, and voila, you got yourself a day's pay. And on Fridays, you got option expiration. So if you're afraid to trade 300 shares of a $200 stock, which some people are, that's when you start getting into the options and you trade at the money. And every one of these stocks is expiring tomorrow. So you're trading with no time value. The volatility is sucked out of the option contract because the number's out already. So now you're going to be trading them for pennies on the dollar. And that 245 put would have cost you, $5 or $6, will only cost you $2. Stock moves 5 points. Next thing you know, you make 100% on your money. Yeah, I did. I made it something really friendly too. Yeah. I forgot what it was already. Hang on. I'm just living my life right here. Hang on. We're doing a show, son. Yeah, there it is. Check it out. You'll be happy about that. Don't say it out loud. Okay. You see it?
Yeah.
All right. And if somebody calls looking for your mom, tell her that she's left the country. The IRS is after mom. Criminal. All right. So we got to wait 4 more minutes. I think I'll hang out. Netflix announced a 10-for-1 split. Wonderful. And by the way, that's how you keep the bull market going. Start splitting all these big stocks. Everybody will want to buy them. It's a genius move. Genius move. It locks in the value. I know doesn't add value per se when you do a stock split, but in a market where everybody wants to buy everything, nobody cares about valuation. You do a 10-for-1 split. Everybody that wanted to own Netflix at $100, now's your chance. Even though the valuation doesn't really change, but perception changes. Oh, I get to buy Netflix cheap now, and everybody will start buying it again. But this little trade right here, this is how we make a living on these Amazons. It's just called a fade. And if you ain't fading, you ain't trading, right? And you see how it's kind of making a home here? You'd be covering a little bit. You're still looking for it to fall back. And then you'd put a stop at the pivot point. And what I'm doing here with the red lines, not only will I show you how to do this a little bit tonight, but I will be showing this in utter fantastic detail on November 22nd. It's a Saturday for 3 hours. I'll be just going over charts and showing you what stock to trade, why you're trading it, VWAP, multiple time frame VWAP, and how to draw your own road lines, your roadmap. And then I'll introduce you to my algorithm guy who actually built a system where it draws the lines for you if you don't want to manually do them yourselves, if you're that lazy. But I like being part of what I'm doing here. But, again, we're living in an algorithmic world. We're building something right now where it's going to take out basically all of your thought processes, and it's going to just do it for us. It's something fantastic we're working on right now. All right. So give me some more numbers. Give me some more. We got Reddit. We got Roku, right? So Reddit, big fan, bigger fan now. Why? Because it already rolled over and died. So holy crap, 178 to 223.50 already. What does that imply? It implies this thing's going to be going bonkers tomorrow, right? You got a close to a 50-point range. And usually what happens in the aftermarket quite often replicates the next day to some extent. You don't usually get the same move, but because you've had such a monstrous move in the aftermarket, there's going to be a lot of pent-up energy in this one tomorrow. And I'm a fan, so I'm glad that it's down right now, and then we'll look for it. So for an example, right now, let's say we walked in tomorrow, and this is where Reddit is, and Reddit makes its turn. You see how it got shut down by the blue line before, but if it breaks the blue line, you're a buyer, and you're a buyer here. And the orange line is usually where you find some sellers. You see how it hit there before. That's your money right there. And it's a very simple concept to understand. You're joining in on the buy side for when shorters are covering, dollar cost averaging buying, and of course algorithmic trading around volume weighted average price. All right, keep going. Let's go. Reddit, we got Roku, and we're still waiting for Apple. And if anybody has any questions while I'm doing this on the fly, shoot. Now, I have a secret diabolical plan as a shorter. Oh, we have to wait till 4:30? Oh, all right. Well, I'll tell you my diabolical plan then. And also, don't forget to email me. The show starts basically 8 o'clock, unless you want to listen to some Grateful Dead, which if you do, we got a friend in me. My diabolical plan is that I'm glad Amazon's up, and I hope to see Apple up. But because we saw some sellers show up today, I think the market might be susceptible to a little bit of what we saw today, a rollover, some profit taking, finally. It's been, what, 6 months before the pivot points, the red lines or the pivot points of what? That's just where the highs and the candles. So I just use the highs and lows of candles, meeting the VWAP, waiting for the chart pattern to show up. So right now, here it is. So for instance, again, maybe I'll join in on this one. I usually don't trade aftermarket, but I do love me some Reddit. It's got a 3-point spread. I'm not going to start. Again, you don't want to trade if you're not concentrating. But right here, you see how it breaks a new low, then it comes back. That's the fake out, shakeout. So tomorrow, here, you see what I'm saying here? Here it is. It's working right now. So if you're trading this stock and you just bought it, congratulations. You just bought yourself your first faux show bro VWAP break, right? And in this little tiny move, now you're expecting the stock to go to 201.96. Let's see if you get it. Boom! And you got paid. And that's how easy it can be, my friends. Fake them out, shake them out, VWAP, break them out. And you just got paid. Friday night, something, it's out of sight. Something, just got paid. Something, I don't know the lyrics to that one. But there it is, my friend, right? There it is. Look at that. That was a 6-point move right there. And all you're doing is trading the chart pattern. So it's chart pattern recognition. You've heard that phrase. And if you don't know, my name is Kenny Glick. I am the universe's #1 chart pattern recognition trader. I won a contest like 4 years ago. No kidding. But chart pattern recognition meets the VWAP. We can't be stopped. And we won't be stopped. And owning stocks is a thing of the past for me because I don't need to own stocks. I could play these faux show bro VWAP breaks. And on the flip side, it's called a finger of God. So with Amazon, it's kind of like the opposite. I'm looking for the stock to roll over. So you got the roll over, you got something out of it. Now you would have got stopped out of what you had left. And then you look for it to get back to those highs. If it doesn't break them and then it rolls again, you're in the trade again. So welcome to Profitable Trading. Anybody actually jump in on that Reddit under 197? Because if you did, you got yourself a 7-point trade. Pat yourself on the back and sell it. Don't hesitate to sell in the aftermarket when you get paid because that lack of liquidity could backfire. But right now, you got yourself a winner right here on this Reddit. And again, just don't, if you did buy it, just don't sell it all. Sell 80%. Lock that trade in because listen, it's fantastic when it works in the aftermarket, but in the aftermarket, you get monstrous moves. And you're on the wrong side when this thing rolls over. You're going to give it Jerry all back, right? So fantastic trade so far. Wonderful. I hope you guys made some money. There it is. All right, what else we got? All right, we got that. You got Roku. Roku, I hate this stock, so I'll be looking to short it no matter what. Where is it? All right, it's down 8 points. See, this one's a little different. I got a vendetta against this stock. I don't like it. I don't like most stocks. But I hate this stock. I don't think it should exist. Why? Why do we need this company in our lives? They serve no purpose. How many different platforms do we need to get content from? We don't need it. I think it's going to be out of business within a couple of weeks, right? not weeks. I mean, inevitably, I don't think this company will be around 5 years from now. Again, that's just my opinion. And my opinion is worthless because I just trade what I see anyway. But let me just point out one more time. Here you got a stock that's probably going to zero, just reported earnings after market, and it just coincidentally holds the whole number. Uh-huh. Are you seeing here how it's not a debate now, Jerry? It's not a debate. The market's rigged. Half of these trades are pre-programmed, if not all of them. They're programmed. The numbers come out, the program gets implemented, blah, 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 blah. You think it's moving because of earnings? Nah, that's just a cover story. It's all rigged. It's all rigged. And these big fat whole numbers prove it. And whether or not you believe it's pre-programmed, that's irrelevant. The big fat whole numbers keep showing up as pivot points and targets, right? So if you see a stock faking them out, shake them out, and it goes back to a big fat whole number, then starts rallying, boom, that's your chance to buy it. And tomorrow, like I said, you're seeing a non-adjusted VWAP here. This is today's prior day. These lines will be down here tomorrow. So when you see something fake out, shake out, hold the whole number, then break back above VWAP, you're a buyer. And you're using that big fat whole number as your out. I guess we should hang out till 4:30. You guys want to hang? All right, give me some names to look at, and I'll keep showing them to you. Here, Gilead's one of the ones for tonight. Oh, now that's an anomaly candle. That didn't really happen. You could tell because it just came out of nowhere. But that sometimes that's Fat Finger Freddy telling you the stock wants to go back there. You got 3 prints all at that same price. It's weird. But let's see where it really is. I think it's at those lows. So immediately I see exactly what I'm talking. What you're oh, okay. Obviously they're fake prints. They're just out of the money prints. But you see how you just broke a new low. You held it here. You held it here. You broke it. So now that's your fake out. You don't have. This is the shakeout still. If this stock's going to turn, it has to break back above where it broke down from. And as I keep telling you, these lines will be down here, giving us a heads up tomorrow. What else you got? Anything else you want to look at while we're sitting here? So what I'm demonstrating today in this brief moment that we're spending together is what I do every day, 8 hours a day. I have no life. I have no friends. I have nothing else to do with my time except navigate charts. So my misfortune of having no life is your benefit. I'm always here. I'm always asking, if you guys have questions in the middle of the day, I'm usually here. I do tend to nod off for about 45 minutes. I put my sensory deprivation stuff on and I kind of zone out. Because if you don't, all this mustard above the neck shit will get you. If you know what I'm talking about. All this above the neck mustard shit. I don't know what that means, but it's hilarious. You know what I'm talking about? You better know what I'm talking about, Wolf of Wall Street. Come on now. That's like not seeing Wall Street. It's like not knowing where Blue Horseshoe and Anacott Steel is. What about Lyft? Talk to me. Did they report? I didn't have Lyft on the list. By the way, Lyft, very disappointed. This thing looked like it was headed to go to the 30s. The only more disappointing stock than this, other than SRAD, is a PayPal. Ugh. What in the hell happened? I mean, this thing had every reason to rally. Good earnings, contracts are being signed. This is the worst stock. It finally breaks out, only to give it all back and then some. This is some garbage. PayPal is garbage. I thought this was it. You were finally going to break out and get back into that 85, possibly 90. Just terrible. Really just awful. Which one? Lyft's going to 230? We're back in business with Blue Star. And look at that Reddit. See that? If you didn't sell it, you just wasted a really nice trade. And that will never happen with me in your corner. I'm kind of going to, again, if you haven't met me, I'm kind of like the drill sergeant from Full Metal Jacket. What the fuck are you doing? Not selling this stock. The bids are leaving. Get the fuck down off of my obstacle. Because some people need that. Some people need a big slap in the back of the head like me every once in a while. Getting my ass kicked short in the queues for the last decade. Revenge trading doesn't work. But you see, easy money, you got to take the money. And then sometimes that money just, poof, it's gone. MSTR. Now, I'm not a fan of this stock because it trades, it's trading on its own thing. It just trades with the price of the Bitcoin, right? Because that's basically the whole business model here. But you're seeing a nice little grind, hits the VWAP, gets rejected, breaks it. It's a buy. Thanks. Coin. All right. If the news is out, it looks like it is. Again, this is a really good example too. Coinbase says, okay, numbers are out. Knee-jerk reaction up, right? And then look, the VWAPs are coming into play. This is not a real candle, I could tell right away. But you got blue line to the orange line and then the rollover. So again, as a trader right now, it's virtually flat. But if this was tomorrow, when we come in with the market open and there's more liquidity, we would have nailed this bad boy. This is a 342 trade down to 335. Fantastic. So later tonight, when you come back to the website, when you come to the schmooze tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to look at these same exact charts and we're going to see more data. And there's going to be more information because the conference calls, the forward guidance, all the analysts with their MBAs trying to sound smart using terms like burn rate and EBITDA. They'll get their questions answered and you'll hear some updates. And then when we finally close, most of the liquidity dries up at 8 p.m., even though we go overnight now. And then tomorrow morning, as long as you don't drink too much at the schmooze tonight, curb yourself. Wake up and we start crunching these same charts. And then we go right to the earnings reports that are reporting tomorrow. We still got a pretty damn good list. Let me see what it was. You got Exxon, you got Chevron, you got Charter tomorrow. You got Colgate, you got CBOE. Like I said, the list is going on and on and on. Just a massive amounts of trading. And all right, let's strap in for the earnings. All right, let's have some fun. Closing price of Apple, 4 p.m. close tomorrow. Go for a $15 or let's see, what do I got? For a $10 Apple gift card, I want the closing price of Apple tomorrow, 4 p.m., not aftermarket, 4 p.m. closing price without going over. Like the Price is Right. You could go over. Closest price gets a $10 gift card. We got another gift card. Give me the closing price of the QQQ, 4 p.m. close. And one more for good luck. If you know the name of my broker, the first stock I bought, and what price it was at, $10 gift card. I like giving stuff away at the schmooze, by the way. So just type them in. We'll check later or, remember your prices. All right, prices are coming in. I hope to see the Qs at 616 tomorrow. That's my call. Probably not going to happen. And look what happened to the Reddit, friends. See? That will never happen with me on watch. You will be selling into moves, getting stopped out, and saying, nice trade. By the way, Qs are back to 630 already. We are almost above. Apple looks like a downtick first. All right. Usually knee-jerk reaction is wrong. Whoa. Remember, knee-jerk reaction is the first reaction. Usually it's wrong. They're already buying this thing. It's already a 5-point bounce, right? Let's see. Now, once the candle closes, then you get a feel, right? So again, you're still in that first reaction. Assuming that that does close down there, let's see what happens here. Hey, hon, the IRS called. I told them where to find you. The IRS was looking for you.
Me?
Yeah.
I didn't do anything.
I told them everything that you've done.
You told me what?
I told them all about you.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll be here any minute.
Great.
Yeah.
Should I change?
That's what you're worried about? Did you change your clothes? Yeah. Run. All right. Apple's out, 261.79. So far, that's your low. So now, wait for it. So now, remember, tomorrow's VWAPs will be down here prior to VWAP. So once the stock tries to bounce and then it rolls through what was established as a low, short it. Now, again, I'm not doing this right now, but all the information coming out right now, you're trying to make a decision, right? And I think that decision is going to be made. Apple just said, good luck shorting. But now you've got a double bottom, right? So again, this is just assumptions. Let's assume we just stay in this chop, 6-point chop, and then we just go sideways for the rest of the evening. You know for a fact, if it breaks 261.79, you're shorting this thing tomorrow, right? Or if you're long, you better be selling it if it breaks that price. So right now we're more or less break even, right? Almost like a nothing burger. You got hammered and you came right back. The Qs are right back to 630, like nothing happened. All right, while we're looking at that, let me put the Apple up in the corner here. And again, I'm a pseudo professional trader, been doing this my whole life. I've kind of sworn off aftermarket trading because you don't know what's going to be said next. You know, you're in a trade and you could be a professional technical analysis, CMT, whatever you want to call yourselves. They say something detrimental in the aftermarket, stock's going to get hammered. Same thing on the upside. But right now, look at that. Where do all the sellers go? Typical, right? Just wash everybody out. Oh, that's right. The market doesn't want to go down anymore. And it's a buy. So what I'm hoping for is a chance. You know, if it's, again, my default immediately when Apple went down, I'm just saying to myself, all right, I'm definitely buying Apple. It's not even a question because I trade the counter trend move. That's why I'm hoping, which I probably won't get what I want it to stay down all night and chop everybody up, piss everybody off. So then tomorrow when it breaks VWAP, everybody will forget that and we'll rip. So I'm feeling bullish on the Apple. But if it gaps up and it rolls, you know, then we'll feel bearish. You know, that's as simple as it gets. All right, what else we got before I go? I think my wife's actually concerned. She doesn't know. She doesn't know when I'm joking anymore either. I've been married too long. So Apple, Amazon, Roku. There was 2 more I wanted to look at. What were they? Roku, Coinbase. Is it tomorrow? There was one more big guy that I was interested. Coinbase, Reddit, MSTR, Roku, Riot. Oh yeah, WDC. I'm interested in that one. Let me take a look. Oh wow, that's a big move. And Apple is green. Voila. Listen, today probably again, if you're keeping with the trend of 2025, today's little sell-off, if you want to even call it that, is usually a one-off, and we now rally for the next. And not even joking about it. Every time we sell off, what do we rally for like 3 weeks? This one little sell-off today could be the setup for the rest of the year. You know it. I know it. I don't want to admit it. I hope I'm wrong because I love volatility. I'd love to see the market get smashed tomorrow. I'm not expecting it to, but that's one of the first lessons I learned. And guys, we were talking Jesse Livermore all day. There's a website there's a YouTube page now that took all the Jesse Livermore quotes and information and put it on video. It's 20-minute clips. Fantastic. It is unbelievable. It's if you guys take trading as serious as we do, listen to every one of these videos. It's called Jesse Livermore Trading Insights, and there's like 130 videos. Every single one's better than the next one. It's fantastic. And like I said, if you want to read that stuff, I have a book I'd like to give you tonight at the Schmooze. It's called Why Traders Fail. And my problem, again, I usually come in with this self-perceived notion of what I'm going to do. That gets me in trouble. Now I have finally submitted to the power of the market and the VWAP. I just let the VWAP tell me what to do. I love it when it confirms one of my ideas, makes me feel good, but I don't mind doing the complete opposite of what I think was going to happen because I just do what the market tells me to do. So, and that's how you stay a viable trader, right? Like right here. And imagine you're still short the Amazon. The undisciplined trader didn't take that profit because they thought it was about to tank. And you lose again, just like Apple. When that stock went down 10 points, did anybody think that was going to stay down 10 points? Put your hand down. No, you didn't. You know Apple ain't going down. You know this market ain't going down, right? It's too good. And listen, we're right above yesterday's lows now. So we've already made back 6 points on the Qs and the aftermarket. It's a wonderful stock, wonderful market to be a trader. And at least we got some volatility today to shake things up. All right. I'll see you guys tonight. Nice hanging out with you. We'll talk more about this stuff and, how to position yourself and how to profit from these moves. It's all VWAP all the time, chart pattern recognition, faux show bros, finger of God. And once you learn those two main chart patterns and center around VWAP and what I give everybody, my multiple time frame VWAP algo, you're set for life, my friends. You really are. All right. We'll talk more later. Bring your own beer. And if anybody knows, it's my birthday week. If anybody wants to send me any silver coins or cash or weed or any type of alcohol, I like Reposado and I like sativa. I'm not into that indica stuff. All right. I do like cash too. All right. I'll see you guys later. Kenny Glick, AOL.com. That's right. AOL.